doing, I was totally inspired watching Kim Kardashian fall in pleasers. And all I could think was she totally should have hired me to be her high heel trainer. Okay, so we are going to be training. We're literally going to be doing the exact things I do to wear 8-inch heels. Now, I'm going to be really honest with you and let you know that if you followed me, say on Instagram, the lights are shining so in my glasses, I hate looking at that. Um, the I've been working in heels, platform heels. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I've done a bunch of workouts in platforms, not necessarily stilettos like this, more in platforms like this for quite a few years. Okay. And it's been a journey to go into stilettos, right? And then I started with probably 6-inch and now 7-inch. And I really only started wearing 8-inch platforms. These aren't actually pleasers. These are extra. They're made by youre, which is another brand, like another alt shoe brand. Now, the pleaser flamingo, which is actually what Kim Kardashian wore. And, we're going to keep our conversation about Kim to her movement and her how she walked and her training. I don't want to get caught up in anything else. There's a zillion things that can be said on her, but I'm really just going to focus on walking in platforms because she did make a choice. She made a choice to pick up a pair of pleasers, and these are pretty much a great fucking equalizer. It doesn't care if you're a billionaire. It doesn't care how much money you have. It doesn't care what runway you're walking down. If you do not have the skills to walk down a set of stairs in these, you're going to fall. I personally am just dancing in 8-inch heels. And it's definitely hard. I've definitely hurt my back doing it. Just that. So I'll show you the heels I do dance in regularly. These have been my practice shoes. So if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see these in my stories. These are my practice shoes. A lot of it is like, if you're dancing in heels and you're doing edge work, you're going to scrape your shoes up. I don't really love, you can put platform protectors on. Of course I have them. Of course I've never put them on. And if you look closely, you can see that's what happens when you start to, wear shoes. So I don't want to take all of my 8 inches and I don't want to wear them all to dance in. So that's number one. Number two, it's much harder to dance in 8-inch heels than it is in a 7-inch heel. So if you're going to walk downstairs in these bad boys, which is what Kim Kardashian did and fell, it's a choice. So I'm really going to go through the things I do to train. It's going to be a long workout. I figure it's going to take about an hour. You don't have to do all of this. You can incorporate a few minutes of it. You can incorporate the whole workout. You can do this. Remember, your feet are something that you walk on every day, right? So a lot of the exercises I do, really, you could do every day. It's not strength training. Hello there. Hope you guys are doing well. Hello. Hi. Yes. So we're going to be doing exercises for your feet. So here's how we're going to do it. I am going to be using my pole. I'm super excited because I did get a pole mat. I got that one used because they're pretty expensive. But what we're gonna do, and I'm really excited because I have you guys the long way, which means I can move you around a little bit more. Let me know if you can't see me. So I got a pole mat, which is just making my life for my home practice a little bit nicer. But for these first few moves, I'm gonna take this off, right? Now, if you don't have a pole, you can still totally do a lot of this stuff. You're just going to do it against a wall if you need help with balance, right? So this is what I would do before, and this is what I really advise. And there goes my ring light. It's dead. Oh, yeah. Yeah, my entire lighting situation is strange to say the least. Let's put that on. I usually don't like overheads, but we got to have some lighting. Okay, so let me back you up a little bit so that you can see and you're not looking at text. Okay, so I have had plantar fasciitis before. I've literally walk on my feet because I teach Pilates, like reformer Pilates. That's what I do for a living. If you've ever wondered what I do all day, no. Well, yes, I am creating content too, but I actually do teach Pilates, and I'm actually on my feet. I'm walking up and down, helping people on the reformer. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna roll our feet. Now, if you don't have, this is the Bala ball. It's kind of bougie. They're expensive. You can get any sort of foam kind of ball. You can also use a softball. So if you have a softball, if you play, or if you have kids and they have a softball, so a softball will work. The harder the ball, the more challenging these moves will be. Use a wall for balance if you can, if you're not used to it, because we are going to be on, like you will be on one foot. So we're going to break it out into like three parts. Okay. So it's a little tricky. I know. Let's see. Maybe I can zero in just a little bit on the foot. Okay. So we're going to start on the heel. Okay, now the more intense you make it, meaning the more of your weight you send into it, and I have a spiky ball, right? The spikes make it, spikier, spicier. The more intense it's going to be. So I'm going to stay on the heel, and I'm going to just start forward and back, and I. There's only so much I can see at this angle. So if you're talking to me, you might have to wait for me to go back to the screen, and I will answer questions then. Now, I can send my heel. So I took my weight off of the pole there. And if I take my other foot off, then I'm sending all of my weight into that heel, and it's going to make that more intense. Right. So I'm sending a lot of weight into that heel. Right. And I can really push. Right. Now, I'm not a big fan of going fast. You want to go a little more slow and mindful. Now, I was actually doing my foot exercises yesterday, so they're actually not in too bad shape. But if you find a spot that feels particularly tender, you want to stay on it. Send your weight into it. Now we're going to move to the arch. Probably my favorite part is going to be the arch. That just feels so yummy, right? Just going forward and back. You can go side to side. You can do little circles. And then the same thing here. You can shift a lot of weight. Obviously, you're not going to be able to balance on that. And for this month, I'm going to try to go live once a week. Um, my long form content that I'm posting takes a lot of time to edit. So I'm just going to start going live. I'm just backed up. It's taking me hours to edit some of that long form, and the views just aren't there. Everything is being filmed on an iPhone. I'm going to go live for a little bit. I'm a little bit backed up on editing content. I'm not really a video editor, guys. I'm really a Pilates teacher. So it just gets to be a little cumbersome. Okay, so this is where it starts getting, I think, the yummiest. I'm going to go onto the ball of my foot and onto my toes. Now, for me, I have really tight Achilles tendons. So I start to feel that right away in my calves, right? So it feels super tight. And I'm going forward and back. And you can see, like, it's now those spikes, I can feel it. I can really feel those spikes, right? And I can really shift my weight in. Oh, that does not feel comfortable, right? If I really start to set my weight down, and you can see I'm trying to use that pole to shift into it. I can circle. This is the one that I think people always skip out on, but you can rub the top of your toes. You want to, of course, be careful, but you can turn your foot down and really rub, right? And then we're going to do the whole foot. We're going to go forward, back, forward, back. All right, fascia is the big buzzword, all that connective tissue. Alrighty, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put both feet on the floor, right? I'm gonna come up so you guys can see my face. And hello, everybody. I thank you. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's a lot of maintenance, the hair. I've done some hair videos before. I can do some more again. I can go live and do my hair maintenance, and you can just see um, what that might do to your house and your bathtub. And my curtain in my bathroom, my shower curtain is already destroyed. Oh, it's already several shades of blue that it was never meant to be. So if I'm walking on the floor now, that this is the foot that I rolled out, like it feels so different. Like it almost feels like that whole foot's on the floor and only half of this foot's on the floor. Like I was saying, your connective tissue, your fascia, it gets really tight. And there's something, it's called neural inhibition, which just means your nerves get so tight from the muscles being so tight that the nerves can't carry the messages, right? So tightness, it isn't just like your muscles are tight. A lot of that has to do with the messaging system from your brain to your muscles. That's how your muscles react. That's how you move. It's not just like it's not an automatic thing. It's like there's chemicals, there's hormones that send these messages to your brain and back. So it's got a whole electrical system. If that's out of whack, that's why you might not react to stretches that well. That's why your sleep patterns might be off. It's your hormonal system. It's your nervous system. That's why deep breathing that can calm down like it's wellness isn't just like exercise, eat right. There's other factors involved because you do have a whole systematic right response system, and a lot of that has to do with the way your brain and body communicate with each other. So when you're talking about your body being in balance, you're also talking about that in addition to not just the things you put into it, but just how you treat it is how your nervous system responds. So right now, what I'm feeling, right, I can actually feel the floor on this foot, whereas I couldn't before. Now, why is that important if I'm wearing high heels? Well, if I'm wearing high heels, I need to really be on my toes, right? I'm no longer going to be on my heels, right? Because I need to be on my toes. This is especially true for pole dancing, and you're going to see because I'm going to get into a bunch of like pole exercises, pole heel conditioning. But the reality is when you're wearing high heels, you need to be on your toes. You cannot send your weight into your heels too much. If you do that, first of all, it's shoving weight into your back. Also, that's where you're gonna start getting into some falls. So like it's you've got to be centered on your toes. That's what it is. That's what looks better. When you're back here, like it just throws your whole lines off. So let's do the other foot. Here we go. Okay, so we started with the heel. And now when you do one side like that, so a bunch of the work I did, there is again like your nervous system, some of it will translate over. So I probably don't need to go as hard on my left. It's gonna start with that heel. I can shift a bunch of weight into it. Right? I can go forward, back, I can circle on that heel. The circles feel so good. Let me take that back down. Thank you. And now I'm on the arch, little circle. I can shift a bunch of my weight. Right now, here's a spot that feels really tender. I haven't had too many of them, but this is that really tender spot. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send a bunch of weight and I'm going to try to let this get to the point where that spot doesn't feel so tender. And now I'm going to go onto the ball, the toes, side to side, and circle, and then the other way. Now I'm going to take this whole thing and then I'm going to go to the top. All righty. Okay, so now my feet are both rolled out and we're good. Let me just look. I have a cheat sheet. I can even read it to you. When I post this, I'll try to write that all down. Okay, so now we're gonna go into, so half of the workout we're gonna do without my heels on, then the other half we're gonna do with my heels on. And you are going to want to train with your heels on, right? That is a big thing. This is especially true if what am I doing? I am a Pilates teacher. I'm a cosplayer, and I am doing heels conditioning, right? So if you wanted to learn how to wear your highest heels and not fall, then this is the workout for you. Or if you just want to watch, you can just watch too. So what we're going to do next is we are going to literally work on our hamstrings and our ankles, right? Where is your hamstring? Your hamstring is the muscle between your knee and your hip at the back of your body, okay? So let's see. Like I said, if you comment on the workout after I finish, I will literally type this all out so you have it. If you need a little cheat sheet, I can do that for you. Okay, so we're gonna sit and we're gonna do some rolling for our ankle, right? I'm gonna sit like this. You can sit, you can stand. I think it's just easier just because of the way everything is working in terms of my space. It's gonna be easy to sit. So I'm gonna do ankle circles, right? Now, these are technically based on something called CARS, if you want me to get really technical, which just means controlled articulated rotations, which is from functional range conditioning. So this is like, I know I walk around and I'm just like Harley Quinn half the time and I just like Barbie, but there actually is some scientific bullshit behind what I do. So try it and see if it works for you. So you're doing your ankle circles. I'm not doing anything crazy. Now, why do I have my hands where they're at? Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm isolating that into my ankle. So that would be my calf moving, right? So I don't want to do that. I want my ankle to move, right? And I'm just moving at that ankle. And then I'm going to go in the other direction. This is going to be a little important for later when you do have your shoes on. And you can do them with shoes and you can start with any size heel you want. Okay, so now we're going to go up, down. Now this is going to start to get into the back. I do not have super flexible hamstrings. I have had to work for pretty much every bit of flexibility I have. I stand on my feet a lot, so that actually does make it worse. Now you can do the knee cars here, right? Then basically just means knee circles. Much harder here for me if you're tight. Now, do you have to wear heels to do these? No. If you just want looser hamstrings, you can do these. It's great if you do martial arts, if you play any kind of sports. I know like CrossFitters do a lot of cars, a lot of functional range conditioning. It's mobility work. Okay, and then we're gonna do hip. Now you can do all of these standing. I probably should be on a mat, but just for simplicity's sake, I'm just gonna show you on all fours. So I've got my elbows underneath my shoulders, I've got my knees under my hips, and I'm just gonna do some hip circles here. Right, just loosening up all of my leg joints, right? Because again, you want those to be working, you want those to be moving. If you're too stiff, you're gonna have zero reaction time. And then I'm gonna go the other direction. How many do? You can do 5, you can do 10. Now you wanna keep the most of your body pretty still. And let's do the other side. So flip, sit, Don't, yeah, guys, if the messages are being held for review, I do not hesitate to start deleting folks when I come back in. So please be nice. Please be nice. Please be nice. There's a place to be nasty. I have a place to be nasty. There's like kids and stuff on here. Be nice, guys. Now, write little circles with the ankle. Right. So, what are some ways to think about it? Because I know it can be a little tricky. So, if you just imagine that there's like a little ball there, circle your toes around the ball. Right. If you need like image, if that helps you, maybe it doesn't, then circle your toes around the ball the other way. Right. Here's another angle on it. Okay. And then we're going to go. So, think this is up, down. That's up, down. Right? And then side to side, in, out, right? And I'm not super flexible. So you're gonna go up, down, around. Up, down, around. It's much harder for me on this side. And then other way. So we're in the middle of a heat wave. It's March in Oakland and it's like 80 degrees in this house. I like the heat, but I don't want to open the windows because I have no idea how my audio is going to be on my AirPods. So I have a sprained hamstring, and this is definitely at the limit for what I can do here. Let's take it on to here. Yeah, and again, like the 8-inch heels, it's definitely, since I started dancing with those, it's definitely been much harder on the dancing, hence something like a sprained hamstring. Like I said, I don't know if I would have worn 8-inch heels at an award ceremony in front of all those cameras. And I've been dancing in heels for a while just because there's a huge fall factor. I personally probably would have chosen 6-inch pleasers just because I feel way more confident and I would have been able to walk in 6-inch pleasers without needing anybody to hold on, if that makes sense. Like I wouldn't have to rely on somebody like handling me. And what I mean by that is if you guys ever watch Mariah Carey, so Mariah Carey has worn high heels. I'm filled with ridiculous information like this. Mariah Carey has worn high heels pretty much every day for her whole life since the 90s. And what happens if you wear high heels? And I think homegirl likes to drink a lot. I don't think she's lived like the healthiest life. So if you wear high heels and you don't like mobilize your feet, and I actually know one of my girlfriends growing up, when I was a teenager, she was Eastern European and like her mom was like old school Eastern European and like only wore like 6-inch heels all the fucking time. And she literally could not, she had a Barbie foot permanently. So this actually will happen. So Mariah Carey's foot, her entire foot is basically a Barbie heel. She can't come out of that high heel position. So that's why, like, when you watch her on stage and like people make fun of her because she doesn't dance anymore, it's like, well, no, she's in a Barbie heel. So it's like you ever watch pictures of her or videos of her like coming on and off the stage, she actually has handlers. James Brown had handlers too. Certain people just reach a certain height of fame and they just can't walk anymore. Mariah Carey's actually at that level where it's like she actually like from her high heels and I don't know from whatever else being Mariah Carey has done to her, she actually has handlers, but a lot of it's from the high heels she wears. So personally, I would like to walk without a handler at any age. So I would choose 6-inch heels over 8-inch heels. That is what I'm saying. So where are we going next? Okay, next up we are going into James Brown's handlers were very different though. James Brown's handlers were like, I feel like you like, yeah, I guess they both kept them in hand. Like they were like picking him up off the floor. I guess they were keeping Mariah off the floor. Like James Brown handlers were picking him up off the floor. Mariah Carey's were keeping her off the floor. Different type of handlers, same task, kind of. Okay, let's go ahead and we're going to do nerve flossing. Okay, so this is in the same realm of things as the hip circles that we just did, the cars. It's mobility work. So I'm going to back up a little bit so you guys can see, right? So I'm going to go up with a leg. So this is all about knee, hip, foot. So you watch what I do. I'm going to first do up and down with this leg. right? So this is working my hip joint, right? So I'm gonna go down and up. Let's say we go 10 times, and I'm trying to keep the rest of my body really, really, really square, right? Exhale down and then inhale up. But think about it. If you're at the level where you have a handler, you've reached a fame that's just unreal. I don't know if I want to reach that fame, that level of fame, because it's also just a level of enabling that you can't ever get out of. But you have to admit that is definitely like, that's how you know you've reached it. Like, oh, yeah, I don't even need to walk. People just walk for me. Again, I don't know if that's my goal in life, but that could be your goal. You want a handler. You might need a sorry. I'm sorry. The last person I could think of that needed a handler was R. Kelly, and that just didn't work out for him very well. He also needed handlers. He needed more handlers than the ones he had. He needed other handlers. Anyway, hold it up here. He needed a lot more handlers. I think he has handlers now. I don't think he likes those handlers though. Go ahead and flex your toes and then point your toes. And again, flex your toes and point your toes. He deserves the handlers he has now. Flex and point. Flex and point. So this is my ankle joint, right? Now, where am I actually feeling this? My quad, right? I know because I'm moving here, but what's happening is this muscle needs to fire to keep my leg in this position. Why is that important? Because that's what's keeping this leg straight. Why is that important? Because I need both of these muscles to stand. Okay, now we're gonna bring this all together. Actually, wait, we need to do one more thing, right? We're gonna go down, up. Yeah, there's the knee joint. So this isn't just training your muscles, this is also training your nervous system. And some of it is to trick your body into feeling safe and get deeper into your stretches. How am I getting deeper? How am I making it feel safe? Because I'm strengthening the muscles around it. And what happens is I'm not relying on the joint. I'm saying, here's the muscle. It's strong. It's holding my bone. It's no longer the joint holding the bone up. It's the muscle. So now we're going to bring this together. We're going to go down, up, flex point, bend, stretch, flex point, down, up, flex point, bend, stretch, flex point, right? Now I'm going to pull this in a little bit tighter. Right here, do it again. Down, up, pull tight, flex point, then stretch, and I'm going to pull in, right? Down, up. And it's getting a little bit tighter, flex point, and it actually feels really good. Like I don't feel like it's pulling. I don't know if that makes sense. Yes, I feel that it's stretching. I'm going to flex point again, but it doesn't feel like I'm pulling on my joints. And I have back injuries. I have like messed up knees. Getting old is not for the weak. I had a revelation the other day. I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but I'm old. They've now outlived pretty much all of my childhood heroes. I was just like, wow, I'm older than everybody. The only one that I haven't outlived is like Sharon Madonna. And Madonna just scares me at this point. I mean, I'll always love her, but I don't know what she did to herself. It's not cool. And hold, right? Now, if you want to really up the ante, you're going to just circle. You're going to circle, right? And what is this doing? This is kind of sealing that work in. So I just found this extra flexibility and this extra leg length. And now I'm just going to do some strengthening work with it. That's actually hard. One more time. And just like everything else, we go other direction. Awesome. Okay, we're gonna do the other side. I'll come up for a second. How are we doing? Are we following along? So after we do this, then we'll go heels on and we'll hit the pole. Okay? Okay, cool. So this is my tighter side. Let's see how we do. Nerve flossing. In case you've not heard the term before, it's called nerve flossing, right? So we're gonna go down, up. I'm really feeling this now. I'll show you. I have this slight bend in my knee, so I'm not jamming into the back of that joint, and I'm really getting this in the belly of my muscle. We'll do 10 of these. That's 5. Definitely my tighter side. Okay. Flex point. And you can see I just don't have the mobility on this side that I do on the other side. This is also the side that I like really sprained the hamstring. I don't even really know how I did it. Just a combination of stupid shit. Okay, now notice I'm keeping my knee right over my hip. I'm not doing this. I see that a lot when I'll say extend and bend. Let's see what my classes. There is a difference. Okay, we're going to bring these together. We go down, up, flex point, bend, stretch, down, up, and stretch. Alrighty. From here, I'm going to come up. I'm going to get a quick little sip of something to drink, and we're going to put my shoes on. We'll have a conversation about that. Now, like I said, you can do these without shoes. If you are doing them, I'm not going to have music on, so you're welcome to put music on. So hopefully you guys can really hear me. The idea with a lot of these exercises is you are on a high toe, right? You are really going to be on your toes. You might not see it. I'm going to try to have it so that the camera it will, really get the whole foot. But I won't be able to really lift the whole foot off of the floor. But what's going to happen is I want to just show you the anatomy the of the shoe. Okay, when you're working with these shoes, they're not flat. Do you see the curve? Right? And how you're able to do, that's how you're able to move, and that's how you're able to do the tricks, right? So when you see me a lot, I'll be in this position, but do you see how small that little angle is? You might not see it in me, but generally speaking, when I'm doing a plie, I'm going to be here. Generally speaking, a lot of the work I'm going to be looking to rock on that toe box, right? There's going to be a few moves I'll try to show where you just start flying, right? There's edge work. I'm not going to get into that today. I'm not like a pole dance teacher, guys. I'm a Pilates teacher. I need to be very clear about this. I am not a professionally trained dancer. I'm showing you just how to train your feet. I'm not a great dancer. I'm just learning dance. I'm just showing you, I know anatomy and I know how to train muscles. So I'm showing you just so I just want you to know, like, I don't ask me for pole dancing lessons. I'm probably not the person to ask. I am the person that I can help you show you like how I've trained my feet because I literally did have plantar fasciitis and I do have bad knees and I am able to dance in 8-inch shoes. So don't let anybody tell you that you can't do it. You can always train your body to be better at something else. There will be limitations and it might take time, but I'm determined that I will be dancing and I will be doing splits on the pole no matter how long it takes. Let's get these on. Um, Ideally, you would be doing a lot of these moves in boots, especially when you first start. There's a few reasons why I'm not. Now, I'll show you why. I don't really want to. Yes, I have multiple pairs of boots. Yes, my practice boots are my practice boots because this is what happens with practice boots, right? They get eaten up. I'm not a rich person. Oh, this is the other thing I just want to point out about pleasers. I have a review here on YouTube. I want to show you my pleasers. These are at least a year old, I think now. 7 months, 9 months, something like that. I want to show you the platforms. There's no scratches. Okay, so yes, I can make fun of Kim Kardashian for wearing $80 platforms with her $80,000 dress or whatever the fuck it was. She's wearing a Gucci dress. But I want you to show you that. Okay? I've worn these a few months, just a few times. I want you to see that. Do you see that? Do you see this is months with pleasers? I am not sponsored. There's nobody paying. This is all my own money. And I bought these secondhand. These were worn once. These have been worn multiple places, all East Coast, West Coast. The glitter's falling off, right? These things are a pain in the ass to deal with. I want you to just see the inside the toe beds. These are hands down. I know the hella heels are like everybody's favorite. I don't think they're worth the money. I don't think they're worth the money. I don't even think these are worth the money. Buy these secondhand. I've worn the hella heels twice. They're already peeling and chipping. So take that information with what you want because I just think if you're going to spend your money, you can get 2 or 3 pairs of pleasers for the price of one hella heels. And tell me why you should spend money on something when if this is all going to chip off in a few uses. So that's why I don't want to ruin my boots. Yes, I have a gorgeous pair of pleaser boots. I really don't want they're 8 inches. I'm not great. I've worn, I'll show you my other ones. These are also eights. And I'm going to be really honest with you about these. So these are 8 inches. These are really fucking hard to dance in. These are really hard to dance in. They're gorgeous. I'm probably gonna save these more for like me to shoot in and like maybe like just for like if I have a particular outfit that I want to dance in. I'm not practicing. These are really pretty. They're really hard to dance in. It's probably the shape. Do you see how much smaller the stiletto is than that? I'm just learning how to dance in 8 inches. This is probably not the smartest choice for me right now. So I'm gonna stick with these and just ruin one thing. That's what I'm doing. I like wearing my sticky socks. I like wearing socks. I have messed up toes right now. I also just tend to my toenails tend to break really easy. So I like having socks that just give me a little extra protection. I know actual like midnight ballerinas, if you're dancing at a club, you can't wear socks. You're not allowed to. I know that. No, I'm not actually. I'm way too old to be doing that, guys. I'm not that I'm knocking them. But that's what they told me. I think when I was younger, like when I was in my 20s, I did shot girl. I'll be honest. I never was a dancer. I did shot girl a few different times. The money in the Audis versus it was legit. It was legit. I don't think you make the money now that you do that. Now you're just better off online, to be honest with you. But I know it was a very legitimate thing to do in the Audis. I don't think you make that much money as a midnight ballerina now. You can. Uh, There's probably there's probably safer ways to earn an income. Okay, here we are. Okay, so I did. Okay, so we're gonna start on the floor, and then we're gonna make our way up. Wait, let me see if I get that light on. Let me get my drink too. Okay, so here you are. You can see it. That's what that looks like. I'm gonna back up just so you can see. When you walk, you gotta glide, right? You gotta glide through your foot, right? You've gotta basically have your weight on your toes 90% of the time. You barely want to have your weight in your heel when you're working with these. Now, why is a boot a little bit easier? A boot's gonna have a lot more ankle stability. Where's my drink? I'll be right back. Let me get my drink. Hopefully, I don't pass knockout in my kitchen. Where's my drink? I failed to have a bottle of water out. So we are going with my drink of champions, aka Monster Energy. Yeah, I know it's late for that, but it's my Monster Rehab. I didn't even know, like, apparently Gen Z, it's like Monster is like a religion to them. They're getting like monster tattoos, monster nails. I'm not going to go that far, but I do like my Monster. Cheers, folks. Okay, first thing we're doing, I'm going to back up. Now I'm going to be on my elbow. And I'm gonna take this leg, I'm gonna hold it. You don't have to hold it. If you're super strong, then you can just have your leg up. Let me put that camera up. I'm gonna give you a little bit of a side view. I'm gonna go flex, point. I'm gonna do 2 sets. I'm gonna try to rotate around, flex and point, flex and point. Okay? Now we're gonna go out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Now we're gonna circle, circle, then other way. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you, we're gonna do another set on each leg. Let me show you this way so you can see. Blah. Ha. Okay, here, flex, point, flex, point. Now we want this leg straight, flex, point, flex, point. Now we go out, in, out, in, out, and we circle, 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 and then other way. Okay, we're gonna do that again. Flex, point, flex, point, flex, point. These are the exercises I do. They're literally what I do. This is how I've gotten my ankles stronger. Flex, inhale, right, in, out. As you can see, well, that sucks, right? That is not the best. Way. God, these burn after a while. Fuck your mother, those hurt. Okay, other leg. Flex, point, flex, point. Oh, I probably should say I curse. You should probably keep your kids away from my screen. Flex, point, and then the other way. Okay. Okay. Those get hard. Those get really hard. What's next? Okay, I didn't write down what's next because I never got to it because I'm not that organized. Okay, so let's see. What are we going to do next? And then write it down. We're going to do our plies. We're going to do our plies. And we're going to do, let me think about this. Yeah, we're going to do our plies. And then we're going to do our sits. And then we're going to do some single leg work. You do not need a pole. You might want one or a wall. Sound good? Okay, that should work out. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to be here. You can do this just holding a wall, holding on the side. I'm going to open my feet wide. You know, let's do this first. Hold the side, feet together. Let's bring our weight to the toes, to the heels, right? To the toes, to the heels. I'm going to do that 10 times. Toes, heels, right? I'm going to just angle the camera down a little bit just so you guys can see me better. Okay, good, perfect. But like I said, you might not totally see that. Now let's hold. And then you want to try to take off, right? I'm going to time that. Let's say hold 10. Harder than it looks. Okay, try to keep those legs long, pushing into those toes, and then drop. Now from here, I'm going to push into my toes and I'm going to squat down, come up. I'm going to rest, right? So toes, deep squat, come up, toes, deep squat, and then back. Let's do 6 more. Toes, deep squat, toes, deep. Let's go 4 more. 4, up, back, right? And 3, up and back. Last 2. And then 1 more time. And let's hold and let's pulse. Okay. And let's bring it up. Okay. From here, I'm going to open. Feet wide. I'm going to shift into my toes. I'm going to go really, really wide. I'm going to head down into that plie, staying on my toes, down, up, down, up, down, up. And now hold. And let's pulse it, pulse it, pulse it, pulse it, pulse it, and pulse. Ooh. Okay. Ooh. Okay. From here, I'm going to drop down. And I'm going to try to swivel to one side, swivel to the other side, right? And then swivel, and then swivel. Okay, bring it on up. And same thing now. I'm going to just hold for balance. I'm going to go toes, swivel, 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 swivel. All right, folks. I gave you what I got. I've been live for about an hour. I am going to sit down. I am going to finish my little monster, and I'm going to be live in another place in an hour. I tried to go live on Instagram. I don't know what's going on. I have no account problems there, and they told me I couldn't go live. So I don't know what's going on there. That account I really have no problems on. My other Instagram account they disabled, so I don't really know why they banned me from going live. So I'm just going to go live here. Next week, I'll figure out a time. I'll post it on a bunch of places, but I'll be live 8 o'clock on my OnlyFriends, and I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for tuning in. And if you want to comment and let me know what you want me to kind of talk about next, I will be happy to do it.